Hey there, my name's Evan Ware from World Nomad Lab, and today I want to talk to you about what it takes to start a business in Kosovo. Right now I'm in Pristina, Kosovo, the capital of Kosovo, and I've been going through the process of what it takes to actually get a business up and running here, and it's a little bit more complicated than, say, the US. It starts off with going to the Ministry of Trade and Industry, and there you get a certification of registration of your business. It's a very low-fee place. It just takes a little bit of time. The thing that I do like about Kosovo, it's actually quite expedited. I've heard it done as fast as 2 hours. I've heard 2 weeks too, but I don't think there's much of a backlog right now when it comes to starting a business in Kosovo. So there's a few other steps that you need to do, because a business without a bank account is just a piece of paper. So the next step you need is to actually start a bank account. And what that requires is that you take that certificate that you have, and then actually you have to get residency. Residency is a little bit more of a challenge because it requires that you have a FBI background check, proof of money, proof of insurance, and it takes 2 weeks and 50 euros. So it is a straightforward process after you have the certificate of business. One other thing I want to add on about the certificate of business, it's really good to ask for a stamp for e-banking. Didn't understand it, it's a thing. I'm just going off of what the business bank account lady told me. So you'd need to get that. So you get your business certificate of business, you get your stamp for e-banking, and then you get your residency, which does come in 2 weeks. Once you have all those three, you take them over to the bank. One of the banks that I was looking at is BKT or BPB, another good bank here that will take foreigners. And what you do with them is you bring them the necessary paperwork, and they will start you a business bank account. It'll run you a couple euros a month just to pay for the bank account, but it's next to nothing. And that's the simple process of doing it. The more difficult part is actually coming here and finding the different offices and knowing that there's a pausa between 12 and 1 for lunch. A lot of offices close at 3. So once you get here, it's nice to have a guide to show you around, go to the right places. The reason why a lot of people are interested in Kosovo bank accounts is not because of the streamlined bureaucracy, which there isn't. However, there is a flat 10% tax rate on profits, very similar to Macedonia, which is nice. A 10% tax rate is much lower than Estonia or even Georgia in the Balkans. Georgia's not in the Balkans, but close enough. So you have a fairly competitive tax rate, and there's not a whole lot of regulation. As more and more regulations come and things firm up with the border in Serbia, and maybe they go in the EU, things will change. But right now there's relatively low barriers to entry to start almost any business. I've even heard of a foreigner who was like, hey, I'm going to rent an apartment. Apartments here cost 200-300 euros, maybe more, up to 700. And then with that, he had a speakeasy, but it wasn't a speakeasy, it was legal. There's no alcohol license. So we had other foreigners he knew came up to his apartment bar and broke even in 2 months. So little ideas are popping up here. There's a huge untapped, unserved local market. If you just come here for a couple weeks and notice everything that you can't buy, everything you can't buy is an opportunity to start a business. All the health stuff, can't buy tahini here, hard to find peanut butter, little things like that. Along with a tremendous opportunity for, they call it BPO, Business Process Outsourcing. What they have here is not a huge domestic market, not a lot of manufacturing, but they have a very talented, intelligent workforce. It's amazing, they're Albanians, they're great people. They're a little different than the Albanians in Albania. I'd say they maybe went to the root of the West as compared to the Albania is a little bit more reminiscent of the Greeks and then also the Southern Italians. It's a little bit more mishmash, a little bit more chaotic. So it's a little bit more refined here. Amazing, like Western European cafe culture. Architecture still a little bit Soviet, but there's quite a bit of opportunity here in terms of talent and different needs just not being met. So an opportunity is to start a business in Kosovo. There's a little bit of uncertainty here, but when there's uncertainty, that means there's opportunity. So if you're thinking about starting a business in Kosovo, will take you maybe 2 days of work, a little bit of waiting, but it's completely doable.